Okay, this is for section 6.4, sum and difference formulas. Here they are. I shortened them. Instead of copying the yellow boxes, you could just copy the summary box on page 481, and they have them there, so it's a little easier. I suggest you look at all the examples and that you need to for your daily work, and that will start on Monday. Okay, the first one is cosine of 7 pi over 12. If you look on your unit circle chart, you notice that 7 pi over 12 is not on your chart. So we can use the formula to find the exact value. And I'm going to use cosine, and I have to find two values that add up to this that would be on my chart. So for example, if I say cosine of, and you can do anything, there's several ways to do this. I'm going to do 3 pi over 12 plus 4 pi over 12. Now, this reduces to cosine of pi over 4 plus pi over 3. Now I just use my formula, and which is going to be cosine of alpha plus beta equals cosine of alpha cosine of beta minus, so this is alpha, minus sine of alpha sine of beta. So my alpha is pi over 2. Here's my alpha, and here's my beta. So I'm going to use this formula here, right in here, and just plug it in. So we have cosine of pi over 4, cosine of pi over 3, minus sine of pi over 4 times sine of pi over 3. Now, you can use your unit chart and fill this in. Cosine of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. Cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. Minus sine of pi over 2 is root 2 over 2. And sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. You simplify that, and you're going to get root 2 over 4 minus root 6 over 4. And the way they write it in the back of the book is they bring out this 4 here and just make it 1/4 root 2 minus root 6. So that's the exact value, meaning no decimals, and we leave it just like that. Okay, here's one with sine, and we have to determine how to simplify this one. You can do it several ways, and I think on this one, I'm going to go ahead and add. You could actually subtract, but I'm going to use 15 pi over 12 and 2 pi over 12. So I'm going to rewrite this as sine of 15 pi over 12 plus 2 pi over 12. Again, you can do it a different way and get the same results. I'm going to reduce this to sine of, what would this be? If I divide everything by 3, 5 pi over 4 plus pi over 6. Now, you'll notice that sine of pi over 4 is on the chart. The angles 5 pi over 4 and pi over 6 are on your chart. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the formula down. It's sine of alpha plus beta equals sine of alpha cosine of beta plus cosine of alpha sine of beta. Okay, so then you just fill it in. We have sine of 5 pi over 4, cosine of pi over 6, plus cosine of 5 pi over 4 times sine of pi over 6. So sine of 5 pi over 4 is negative root 2 over 2. Cosine of pi over 6 is root 3 over 2. Cosine of 5 pi over 4 is negative root 2 over 2. And sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. And then you multiply, this is negative root 6 over 4 minus root 2 over 4. And you can factor out negative 1/4 and get root 6 plus root 2 in here. And that is your final answer. I prefer you write the answer this way, although this is correct as well. Now, the problem set that you have, the problems you have to do for 31, I'm going to do on a separate video because it takes longer. Alright. Now, this one's already been written out for you. It has the form of cosine alpha plus beta, because cosine of alpha plus beta is cosine of alpha, cosine of beta, minus sine of alpha, sine of beta. So my alpha is 70, my beta is 20, so now I'm just finding cosine of 90 degrees, which is 0. I have a blank page for some reason, so let's do one in radians. This one has the form of sine of alpha minus beta equals sine of alpha cosine of beta minus sine of, let's do cosine first, cosine of alpha sine of beta. Alright, so we're subtracting here, so this, my alpha is pi over 12, and my beta is 7 pi over 12. When I simplify this, I get sine of negative 6 pi over 12, which equals sine of negative pi over 2. You can either make this coterminal, or you can use your odd properties. And notice that I can pull out a negative sign and put this as positive. Sine of pi over 2 is 1, so it's negative 1 equals negative 1. If you made it coterminal, you would have just added the 2 pi, and you would have got 3 pi over 2, and you would have still got negative 1. What's interesting about this one is establishing identities. And these are actually the easiest ones. They don't look like they're easy, but they are. So I know this is my alpha. Alpha equals pi over 2, and beta equals theta. So I'm going to use my formula. It's going to be sine of pi over 2 cosine of theta plus cosine of pi over 2 sine of theta. I know that sine of pi over 2 is 1. Then we have cosine of theta. I know that cosine of pi over 2 is 0 times sine of theta. So this zeroes that out, and 1 times cosine of theta is cosine of theta. Okay, I'm gonna, like I said before, I'm gonna do number 31, I believe, on a separate video.